Like, okay, what do I make of that moment, right? We get those in sports. There's a million games. A lot don't mean anything.
It spiraled pretty quickly.
Yeah, so let's start with that. Last year. I want to go back to last year. Green Bay had been pushed around a little bit by Philadelphia and the Chargers. And then in week 12, they faced San Francisco. And Green Bay got punched right in the neck. 37-8, over at halftime, hell, over in the second quarter. Green Bay won the rest of its games and went to the NFC Championship. I could never unsee that. I never took Green Bay seriously. Between getting pushed around by Philadelphia, get pushed around by the Chargers, but San Francisco wasn't even a fair fight. It looked like a boxing match with a heavyweight and a lightweight. I couldn't unsee it. I never took Green Bay seriously. By the way, either did Green Bay because they went and drafted 3 interior linemen, a blocking tight end, and a power running back. Green Bay knew they had an issue. I'm watching Lamar Jackson take on Patrick Mahomes, Kansas City and Baltimore. I can't unsee that. It changes things. The gap between Mahomes and Lamar is growing. The gap between the Chiefs' confidence and the Ravens' confidence when they play the Chiefs is widening. It's getting worse, not better. Lamar's now 0-5 against the Chiefs and playoff teams, and he doesn't look the same on third down trailing. I feel like Patrick Mahomes is on an escalator. You've seen those in the mall. He's just slowly ascending. Every time I see him, he's just a little better reaching the top floor. The question is, with Lamar Jackson, is he on one of those people movers at the airport? It gets you there faster. It's really efficient. I love getting on him. But it's useless if you're trying to go to the very top floor, and the very top floor in the NFL is, of course, the Super Bowl. Lamar Jackson trailing. Lamar Jackson has to pass third and long. It's widening. He's not the same. 3rd and 14 for Mahomes. They just drop touchdown plays. I mean, score doesn't matter. Like on the field, where your field position doesn't matter. Time doesn't really matter on 3rd and 14. Russell Wilson's got a little bit of that, a lot of that. With Patrick Mahomes, it doesn't feel like that. Score, trailing, down in distance, feels like it matters. It impacts him. Now, Patrick Mahomes admitted last year, he admitted this, his words. He goes, I couldn't really read a defense until just a little bit past halfway on the season. All right, so I went and looked a little past halfway in the season. That's week 11. He's 12-0. He's lost 3 games, by the way, last year. 2 in a bad ankle and 1. Remember, he had the dislocated knee. It was the first game back, and you could tell he didn't want to run. He had dislocated knee. I mean, Tom Brady, after he had a knee issue, didn't want to get hit for a year. For about a game, Mahomes is like, I'm not running. That's it. Since then, week 11, 12-0, and it's getting worse. Now, let's add perspective. Let's not go crazy here. It's Monday Night Football. The only game being played, a week ago, we thought the Raiders were great. Let's slow down. Let's add perspective. Let's put those numbers up. Yes, Lamar Jackson is still great. Baltimore's going to win their division. They're going to reel off a bunch of wins, and Lamar Jackson is 21-1 against the rest of the NFL. He's just not good against Kansas City. But part of why he's not is he gets into a gunfight, and he falls behind, and he doesn't quite feel the same. Now, Baltimore's not going to be behind in most of the games. I think they're going to win their division. He's going to have a great year. He's an incredible young talent. But when I saw the Packers last year just get pushed all over the field, it was like a mismatch in an octagon. I couldn't take them seriously. I knew they were good. I knew they could get to the NFC Championship, but against San Francisco, they played them the second time. I'm like, this is not competitive. This is not, and it wasn't. And if these two teams play again, and I think Baltimore could end up in the AFC Championship, but if across the field's Patrick Mahomes, I can't unsee what I saw last night. I can't. Either can John Harbaugh. He talked after.
Well, obviously we haven't beaten them, so they've outplayed us in all 3 games. If you want to go back for 3 years, but we didn't play well today. They beat us. They out executed us. They out game planned us. They just beat us. So that's the story tonight. Big picture stuff, all that, I don't know. They're better, obviously. They're a better football team at this point in time. So you win or you learn, and we have a lot to learn from this game right here.
May still be the 2 best teams in the AFC. I still think Baltimore is a top 4 or 5 team in the NFL. Absolutely. I still think they're going to win the next most of the games they play. And they're going to win a playoff game, maybe 2. But that leaves a mark. All right, Doc Rivers, let's shift to the NBA for a few minutes, was